What's good, fight fans? Did you miss me? I know you did. I know you did. But your boy's back at it with a fresh episode. So welcome back to another episode of Combat and Kick It. What are we breaking down? What are we talking about? We have a huge pay-per-view this weekend. Massive pay-per-view and a massive championship matchup that we have for the main event. The light heavyweight championship is on the line. Can Magomed Ankalaev defend it against the former champion Alex Pereira? We will find out this Saturday. But for me, I had to come through with the breakdowns. And you know what kind of breakdown this is. This is the high stakes fighter breakdown. And who are we working with? We are working with the former UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Poatan Pereira. Let's waste no more time. Let's get right into it. Let's smoke. So this is the high stakes fighter breakdown. I'm Poatan. Shama. Our boy Alex Pereira. Look, the last fight that they had, Alex didn't really do much. And that's the best way to put it. Alex really didn't do much. There was not much put out from Alex in terms of his striking, in terms of anything that he is best at. He kind of just pulled back a little bit. It was almost like he just anticipated wrestling the whole fight, and there wasn't that much wrestling involved. So I think Alex just kind of was a little gun shy, a little bit slow on the touch and everything like that. I do think we will see a different Alex in this fight, but you never know. You really never know, especially when a guy's coming back to do a rematch against a guy who he thought he should have never have lost to, and he lost to him by a decision. You never know what can happen. It's a 50-50 shot that man might get caught. You never know, right? Especially in this game, it's always a 50-50 shot. But to just talk about how good Alex Pereira really is, we're not gonna really focus on that last fight. Even though you're only as good as your last fight, we're not gonna focus on that last fight because that doesn't help the breakdown in itself. Because we want to talk about what Alex Pereira is best at, why his career is where it's at, and why he is who he is. Right? Everything. We want to break down every little bit of Alex Pereira that we can, not just the keys to victory and stuff like that, but just how he is what he is. Alex Pereira, since 2022, has fought nothing but championship fights. I just want you to put that in perspective. He came into the UFC in 2021, and since 2022, he has fought nothing but title fights. That is 3 years straight of title fights. And I'm not talking about 3 years of fighting one time, two times within those 3 years. He has 7 title fights in a row, going on his 8th for this weekend. That is amazing. It's absolutely incredible. And to not only think about that, right? Only one loss or 2 losses in that. One was with the middleweight championship, one with the light heavyweight championship. So he's taking a loss in each spot. But just the simple fact that he came into the UFC that quick. We all had this expectation that Alex Pereira was going to come into the UFC and have some success, knowing that he knocked out Izzy in the past. And the thing with Izzy is Izzy had that aura at the moment where it was like, man, who's going to beat Izzy in this division? Nobody's going to beat him. And then Alex comes over and it's like, oh, well, he's beat him before. Maybe this is the guy. And it ends up being the guy. And then Izzy ends up getting his licks back, and he got a beautiful KO, one of the nastiest KOs we've ever seen. And it's unfortunate, but it was great for Izzy. It was great for his career. It was well needed. And I think it's even well needed for Alex. Sometimes when a guy does get slept like that, there's two sides to it. It could be the end of his career, or it could be like the start of the a fresh beginning. You never know. It's a 50-50 shot with that one too, because if you get knocked out spark unconscious and you're stiffened like that, it's tough to bounce back from sometimes. Speaking of sparked unconscious, I'm not going to not talk about this real quick. Vanderlei got knocked out cold, man. Knocked out cold. Now, we've seen Vanderlei get slept before, especially by hooks. I would have never expected some guy in a suit with gloves on, not boxing gloves, by the way, like little just white latex gloves, throws an overhand right, knocks Vanderlei out during this whole melee. Crazy thing, crazy turn of events for a boxing match that probably shouldn't even have been sanctioned, shouldn't even have happened. There has to be a point in the game where we have to start cutting people out, right? I know it sounds fucked up, but your health is the most important. We don't see guys fight, or you don't see guys really play every sport into their late 40s. How many football players do you know are playing into their mid to late 40s? None. You don't know a lot of basketball players that are playing to their mid to late 40s. If they are, they're not doing what they were once doing, right? You very rarely are seeing them in starting positions. It's very rarely you're seeing them in key roles and stuff like that. It's just, there's a point where everybody needs to retire. But for the fight game, I think there's a point in something that needs to happen. And we got to just make it a thing where after 45, you have to retire. There is no fighting anymore. No matter what the exhibition is, no matter who sanctioned it, who thinks it's not okay. Okay, it's not okay. Once you are past the age of 45, you should not be fighting in the octagon or in a ring. It's just unnecessary, especially when you've taken the damage that you've taken, right? Vanderlei has been fighting since I was not even walking. I mean, it's okay to hang him up. Sometimes you gotta just hang it up. There's no point to continuously keep going. I know these guys, they love the fight game, so they will continue to fight. They're always going to continue to fight. But at the end of the day, the fight game is so unforgiving. So unforgiving. This one shot that Vanderlei got caught with and dropped with, this could be the most detrimental shot to his entire career. And he's, 50? Late 40s, high 40s? It's no bueno. But I had to mention something about that because that was crazy. The melee itself was crazy, and then the knockout was like, holy shit. What? You got to get the fighters out of there when a melee starts. Simple as that. When a big brawl starts, you got to get your fighter out of there. If you can't get your fighter out of there and you're going to leave your fighter in there, he's going to end up getting hurt. It's not meant to be like that. These guys are fighters that fight in bouts where they're set to fight this one opponent. When you get crazy and people are just swinging, it doesn't matter. You're not going to see something coming. You can get knocked out, and people are going to act like fighters can't get knocked out by regular people. It's very possible that they can too, right? I mean, we've seen street fighters not even street fighters, just guys in the street knock out UFC fighters, beat UFC fighters. Like, it's not an impossible thing, but then you talk about putting them in the octagon, they get smoked. You know what I'm saying? It's chaos in terms of street fighting, melee, stuff like that. Very dangerous. Overall, get your fighter out there. So now we got to really analyze Alex Pereira. Let's get back on the topic. The real focus of this episode is to break down and talk about Alex Pereira. What has brought Alex Pereira so much success? The striking. It's clear as day. The striking, and let me tell you something else. He has that Mike Tyson effect where he didn't have it on Magomed Ankalaev, but he had it on every other guy that he fought, where he beat them before they even got into the octagon. And if it wasn't before they got in the octagon, it's right when they got in the octagon they realized they were staring down the Stonehenge across the way from him. That man is just pure stone. Doesn't move. No soul is shown. No emotion is shown. It seems frightening. Honestly, if you had to imagine standing across from a guy that size who you know can put you out with one punch, and he's just staring into your soul with no soul himself, it's a dark looking feeling, and he beats you before you even get there sometimes. But when you go in there with that mentality that Magomed Ankalaev did, it's a lot different. But Alex striking obviously is something that brought him so much success. The power brought him so much success. And And the other main thing that really brought him a lot of success, activity. People love to see activity, especially from a fighter that they consider an exciting fighter, such as Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is one of the most exciting fighters in the game, just because you know at any given moment he might be able to turn the lights out. One left hook, one clean left hook lands, whole night could be changed. It's very, very possible. I think Alex has a lot of strengths, right? Besides just striking. I think he's smart in there. I think he's not fast, but he's hard to read because his speed is different, and he's powerful, and he's long. He knows how to utilize his reach. He's got good takedown defense. If he really needs to utilize it, he could take people down, but or not take people down, but he could defend a takedown, but he has to. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that man gets taken down when somebody shoots. But he's strong enough to defend the takedowns. That's maybe where I should have gone with that. He's strong enough to defend the takedowns. If he gets to underhooks, he can totally keep you up and keep you in a clinch and keep you from getting his legs and shooting for that double leg or trying to go for the single leg, high crotch, whatever you're going to try to do. He is strong enough to keep you from doing that, and he's also strong enough to get back up. The thing about it is, when you put a fighter like Alex Pereira, who is so good at one specific style of fighting. I'm not calling him one-dimensional, so don't get me wrong with this one. But he's so good at one specific style of fighting. When he has to focus on another style of fighting in there, it makes it a little bit more difficult, because now you're misreading what this opponent is bringing to you. You're kind of overthinking your opponent a little bit, because you know your opponent has the ability to wrestle and has the ability to strike. The overall thing at the end of the day is people went into that fight thinking that wrestling was going to be the difference maker. You got to realize Ankalaev is a striker. He is a kickboxer as well, right? So he just has a little bit of the wrestling behind him, and everybody sees the Ayev at the end of a name and start thinking of something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they immediately think wrestle, wrestle, wrestle. Not every single Dagestan fighter is a wrestler. You know, obviously they got the background. They got that Samba background. But it's one of those things where it's just going to be utilized when they need it. If striking is the number one thing. And that's what Magomed does. He is able to use that number one thing and then also mix up his number two, which most people try to say is his number one, and it's not. I think Alex just needs to stick to being Alex Pereira in there and not focus on all the other stuff. Go in there and strike this same striking fight like you did with Izzy. Don't make it any different, right? Sean Strickland, right? All these guys that you knew were going to be strikers, you knew you were going to be standing up with them. Go into this fight with the same mentality and utilize your skill set. Right, I think that if Alex does land a left hand on anybody in that division, he could put them to sleep. So go in there and be confident. He needs to be more confident in his striking, in his skill set, and not just look for the one shot, because the one shot's not always there if you're not setting up for it. And if the one shot is the one thing that people need to pay attention to and focus on, that makes you one-dimensional. I don't think he is one-dimensional, but in that last fight against Ankalaev, he looked one-dimensional. So keys to victory for Alex Pereira in this fight. It's really simple. The first one is leg kicks. He didn't throw enough in the first fight. He got to utilize them more. We know how deadly he is with the leg kicks. He's very dangerous with the leg kicks. He doesn't telegraph his leg kicks. He has to not be afraid to throw the leg kicks. Even if a takedown is potentially coming, just throw the leg kicks, right? Put the pressure on him with the leg kicks. Jan Blachowicz did it. It's not an impossible thing. Just because you didn't have much success in the first fight doesn't mean you're not going to have success in the second fight. Don't change the game plan that much from what you're typically good at doing. You know what I'm saying? You need to change the game plan from the last fight. But in overall, what Alex Pereira is good at, don't change your game plan so much to where you're trying to fight a different fight. Fight the same fight. Go out there and utilize them leg kicks. That is number one. Number two, work the body. Work the body. Tire this man out. Nobody wants to wrestle if they are gassed. Magomed Ankalaev is not going to shoot. He is not going to try to clinch. He's not going to try to hold you up against the cage. If you work the body and you take some wind out of him, you take some air out of him, take a little bit of gas out of that truck, and you'll be good. I think it'll definitely benefit you. Right? Don't just search for the left hook all night. The left hook is obviously a success, but it's not a key to victory because you have to find it, right? And everybody knows a knockout is a knockout. It doesn't matter if it's the left or the right. You don't want to search for it because he could knock him out with a right hand. But everybody looks for the left. He can catch him with a beautiful right hand. He can catch him with an uppercut. He can catch him with a knee. He can catch him with a kick. You never know. Alex is very, very crafty in terms of striking, so you never know what he can end up catching him with. So he does not have to just search for that left hook. So body, work the body, work the body, work the body. Next one, lead the way. Lead the way. Do not let this man lead the fight. Do not let this man put you on your back foot. That shows that gives him so much more respect than he deserves, and that just gives him a better position to strike how he wants to. And if he wants to shoot, he could eventually shoot because you're already right up against the cage. He's got that to his strength. Do not allow that to happen. Do not keep backing up. Stay in the center, meet in the middle, put the pressure on him, and be you. Be you, Alex. You have to be the Poatan that got you to the dance. All those fights, all those different wins, for you to come into this fight, this last fight, and fight the way he did, right? You go from the war with Khalil Roundtree to this. It's two different fighters. I want to see that fighter that fought Khalil Roundtree because there was two things that happened in that fight. Not only did they go to war, right? And Alex, landed his heavy shots, but he turned on that next level mode, right, in that last round. He turned on that next level mode when he was getting that finish and just went full-fledged, like different breed at that moment, right? He just like entered his matrix, and that was it. Flow zone, and he got it done. And that's the Alex Pereira that we need against Magomed Ankalaev. It's a dog. It's a dog in him. Ice in the veins type of moment. That's like a basketball Kobe moment, Jordan moment, like those moments where they're going to last forever. You're going to be remembered forever, right? Alex Pereira is a cold-ass dude who has a lot of aura around him. And it seemed like he lost a lot of it by losing this fight. He needs to come back, and he needs to win this fight. And I'm not talking about winning by decision. No, he needs to knock this dude out cold. So he's got to work with those three things. All right? If he's not using the leg kicks, working the body, and keeping the fight in the middle, he's going to have a long night. Negatives for Alex Pereira. Takedown defense. It's the number one, because when it is utilized by Magomed, if he takes you down and he knows he can get you down, it's always in the back pocket. Always in the back pocket. So keep that takedown defense tight. I've seen him train, and I've seen his videos, but you can only take so much from a training video, right? We've seen millions of training videos. You're not always the same as you are in the training video. So you could be a completely different fighter. But his takedown defense, it needs work. That's one of the biggest negatives into this fight. Because if Magomed gets it, he's going to do it all night. Not all night, not like a chain wrestler, but he's going to mix it in there all night. There's going to be moments where you're going to have success, and then all of a sudden you're on your back because you were having success and he shot because he knew he can get you down easily. So takedown defense is one of the biggest negatives in this fight. Another negative is his hand placement. I hate his hand placement when he's fighting. Keeps his hands so low. I know he bounces. I know it's his style. I know he likes to block and move back and stuff like that. But chin is up a lot of the time. His hands are down. And he's good with that when he's against a guy who's slightly shorter than him. Magomed is eye to eye with him. And Magomed is a big dude. He's not small, right? He's a pretty big dude. So Alex needs to make sure Alex doesn't fight like this. You'll never see Alex fight like this. He's always down here. Right, but he just needs to make sure that he is staying protected. The hand placement always worries me, and I think that's a negative for Alex Pereira in any fight. It doesn't matter who you're against. In the UFC, in MMA, anybody can knock anybody out. That's just how the game goes. It's very possible, right? So keep your hands low enough, you might get slept. So hand placement is another negative. And the last negative is searching for that left hand. If you're just searching for it, you're not going to find it. It's not there. It's right in front of you, so you're not going to find it. You're not supposed to search for it. It's literally right in front of you. You can see it. It's going to be there all night. You just have to wait for the moment to get it. And that's how it goes. That's the game. It's always there. It's always there, so you don't have to look for it. Right? When you're staring and searching, you're like, man, I want to land this left hand. Man, I want to land this left hand. I got to land this left hand. You're forgetting about all your other strengths. And all your other strengths can set you up to land that number one kill shot. And if you can't get that number one kill shot, maybe the other strengths bring you to it. So you can't search. You cannot search for it. You know, you have to, obviously you got to pay attention. You keep your eyes open. You're waiting for a moment. That's for a much more patient fight when you're waiting for the moment, right? You're waiting. Alex isn't waiting. Alex needs to get going right off rip, make Magomed respect the striking, because he did not respect the striking in the first fight. So he has to make him respect the striking. If he can do that, no problem. I think he'll be successful, and I think he'll end up finding a shot, and he might be able to get the finish. If not, it's going to be a long night to get the decision, but it's not impossible. He's just going to have to do a lot. He's literally going to have to do a lot, and they might have to go to war for a bit. Could be a good fight. Could be a really good fight. Could be a dangerous fight for either guy. It's interesting. We'll see what happens, but that's it. That's the high stakes fighter breakdown for the former champ Alex Poatan Pereira. So, Shama, and you know what to do. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out. It'll be the Magomed Ankalaev episode. So make sure to stay tuned, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Your boy Bando's out.